Well, that's stunning. So,
Good.
is that true? I mean, is that really bees lying in front of all these people?
Yeah, I tend to do that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that you can all go home disappointed when you don't achieve yourself. Yeah.
So I mean,
I've got pictures. Goodness me. Yes, of course I have. Yeah, well, just come to our place. I mean, did you see some of the stuff I showed you yesterday when we were doing the video, the pictures of our, when we were doing the dams at our place? I mean, how we have done this is basically the Keyline pattern cultivation. If you want to, and this is where it comes down to with this whole technique and all of this stuff we're talking about, we can just use, or we can use about 42 tools that we have identified, and I mean me and other people like Abe Collins and other people in my sort of mentor, whatever network, who are into this stuff. We know of about 40 odd methods that will increase the rate of topsoil formation, and the lowest cost means is using grazing management and perennial grasses. Everything else that we add on to that in terms of layers are all things that that cost more money, right? So if we look at keyline ploughing or whatever, you know, you can use, there's plenty of subsoilers and all of that sort of thing, those things around, you know. It's a matter of how you use them. That is one tool that costs money. You have to sit on a tractor. You can only go about 3 miles an hour, so it's very slow, and you don't get an immediate benefit from that in terms of it, you know, bang for buck. In some cases, it can be a two-year time lag in some climates before you get a full recovery from the incision, the surgery, right? Then we've got things like Elaine Ingham's compost tea stuff. We've got the biofertilizer stuff. We've got, it just goes on and on and on and on and on, all of this list of stuff. So with keyline ploughing, however, in our experience, it's the one tool that when combined with grazing accelerates quickly that growth of topsoil development, right? So what we mean by that is that we're not increasing altitude, right? Let's just get that off the radar straight away. So if we have this much ground, soil or root depth currently, which is what we came to at our place, right? Oh, sorry, and who I was referring to yesterday was Abe Collins. When Abe had done all of his work on all of his acreage, using the scraper and all of the flat bottom scraper, reforming his landscape, he basically came back to zero, right? Put back what topsoil he had after he, you know, created a new landscape. He then got to work using grazing and a few other potions and whatnot, and the keyline plough. And because he had irrigation, he did multiple keyline ploughing passes in a year. So he was able to accelerate the whole process. So what he and people like me and many of my clients have done is they've started off with this, a compacted layer of some description here, and what we've done is we've punctured through that, right? We've now allowed, because someone asked me in England last year, you know, how would you describe regenerative agriculture? I'd say it is about providing the potential for things to flourish. Yeah, because a lot of our species that we grow, we don't let them exhibit their complete physiological potential, right? You look at some grasses which you see, they grow this big, right? The same species of the same variety of everything, that same species when its physiological potential is not limited can grow this big, right? And while I've got my arms out like this, Looking for a hug in all the wrong places. I've started a new movement. This is a scoop for you here, Mr. iPhone. I've started a new movement. You guys are probably like treehugger.com. I've got a new movement. It's called Grass Hugger. But how you find yourself is way down here, down on the ground, hugging a little grass, giving a little pat, all of that. But why would you start such a movement? Well, see, people like trees, because you can get around and you can dance around and you put ribbons on them and all this sort of stuff, crochet stuff on them and all that sort of thing, and you can stand around and hug them. So it feels so good. You get all the vibes off the tree and all that. Well, why do we do that? Well, they're magnificent aged organisms, right? How old do you think some grasses live? We've now got dating techniques. Oh, I should repeat that. Oh, we've now got online dating techniques. Now we've got dating techniques that are showing us that some grasses live in excess of 500 or 600 years. Yeah, or more. They don't really stop growing, right? So, yeah, we go up and we'll hug a 500 or even a 200-year-old tree, as some people do, but the grass sitting right next to it will stand on it. Yeah?